My name's Nate Boley, and 20 years ago, strength training changed the course of my life. I built a gym here in Bend, Oregon from scratch that's helped over 1,500 people change their lives as well through strength training. If you want to change your life, head over to benstrengthwarehouse.com, hit the Start My Journey button, and let's chat. All right, guys, we'll see you there. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. Today we have Sunny Hisel, our nutritionist coach. She's coming on for her second time with our podcast. Sunny, welcome to the podcast again. Will you go ahead and just introduce yourself and let the listeners know who you are?
Well, again, Sunny Hisel, your nutrition coach here at Strength Warehouse. I am a thriving legend and who has raised a couple of kids, has 3 grandsons that I have chosen to eat healthy for so that I can play with them up until I'm 103.
That's awesome. And you just got done with our Legends class.
I sure did.
Feel like an extra solid legend right now.
I sure do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to help people take control of their lives through nutrition?
Because it's my own journey.
Yeah.
I was getting diagnosed with all kinds of health problems, and the last diagnosis was one that I looked up, and it was for a middle-aged, underactive, overweight women, and I basically got mad.
Yeah.
And started doing some research and learned that what we eat really does. We really are what we eat. It affects our body, affects our health, and I started including whole foods and getting rid of the processed foods, and slowly started changing my body to where I am today, a woman who's not afraid to try new things.
That's awesome.
And I know that anybody else, no matter what age you are, what you eat is what your cells use to fuel themselves and rebuild themselves. So I'm here to help you fill your body with whole, nutritious foods.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, I don't know the exact science on this, but I've heard that cells regenerate themselves every 5 years. 7 years? Okay, 7 years. I thought I was somewhere in there close. But if you're fueling your body for that 7 years, the next generation of cells that are going to be created by those cells are going to be created by sick and weak and unhealthy cells. So you're just continuously compounding that effect. And you can reverse it, but it takes a little bit of time. Not that you should be like, oh, well, I'm screwed now. I can't ever get back.
Never think that.
You can always, do something that's going to be positive for yourself. So I really appreciate that coming from that. Did you do that on your own, or did you have guidance?
I started on my own because I was getting sick every time I ate, and that's how I found the dairy allergy. But then after my mom died, I got real sick because I was just shoving my face with anything I could get a hold of. It's fascinating. Hospital food really isn't the healthiest food.
No. And
I got super sick off of that, and then I was seeing a chiropractor who was moving into whole food or more naturopathic healing, and he helped guide me a bit through muscle testing, determine what's better for me and what I should stay away from.
That's awesome. What kind of muscle testing? I'm interested.
It seems weird. I thought it was woo-woo at first, but it works. It's just basically you're laying down and you hold an arm up, and if you're holding a food that your body doesn't like, you literally get weak.
Oh, actually, I have done this before.
Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't. That was what it was called. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does work.
It does work.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and then I just kind of took off from there. The healthier I got and the better I felt, the more I have researched and learned how my body works, and so that's why it's not a one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter kind of thing.
I think you're right. Totally, everybody's a little bit different, but the same general principles apply, right? And it's like, hey, you might be doing really well with milk, and the next person may kill them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Over, of course, time. But it's like general ideas and stuff like that. It's like, hey, we need to test out where you are. You may not do well with rice or red meat or whatever it is, where the other person can, but we can navigate all those types of things.
Exactly. Yeah, I help you slow down enough to listen to your own body.
Yeah.
Because I do nut milks. Some people can't do nut milks.
Yeah.
So it's all individual.
It is very much like just noticing little details. It's not going to be like crazy details. We were like, hey, I ate this yesterday, and today I'm feeling really sluggish.
Exactly. Joint pain, brain fog, different things.
Yeah, stomach upset, all that type of stuff. Gout,
exactly.
all type of different stuff. Awesome. Well, can you explain a little bit of what our nutrition approaches and what the services that we offer here at the Strength Warehouse?
Definitely. First thing we do is you set an appointment with me and we sit down and we just talk. I'm going to ask you questions about your daily routines, your diet, and by diet I just mean what are you eating? And from there I'll lay out what your next best steps are.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, I like how you caught the diet thing. The diet thing is a caveat, like I'm on a diet, and that always triggers people's minds, like that they're restricting or they're counting calories or they can't have what they want. And really, diet just means what you eat day to day. Your diet could be consisting of nothing. Or your diet can consist of everything good or anything in between that. So I do appreciate you caught that and you like explained that.
It's kind of like a budget with your money. A budget, following a budget with your money actually frees me up. It's like I know what I can spend.
Yep.
With the word diet, I know what I can eat, and I'm free to eat a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I overheard you talking with one of your clients the other day about how, or maybe it was actually even today, where you had started kind of doing a reverse diet thing, where eating a little bit more and noticing some. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Exactly. Men and women probably both, but I think I notice it more with the women I talk to in my own personal experience. The first time I started with a trainer before here, she upped my calorie intake by almost 500 calories, and I just about a day.
Oh my gosh.
I just about died. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm gonna get fat. And I actually, with working out 3 times a week and increasing my diet, increasing my calories with real whole foods, getting rid of the crunchy, sweet stuff for breakfast and all, I started losing weight and gaining muscle.
We've done that with countless people, and you're right, mostly with the women because they feel like they need to restrict so much. And I see a lot of guys in the same realm. I'm like, I just did an NSI with a guy. I'm a no sweat intro with a new potential client, and I was like, what are you eating? He's like, coffee in the morning and nothing until dinner. I was like, what? I was like, dude, you got to be eating like 600 calories max all day long. How do you have any energy to do anything? Exactly. He's like, well, I'm just trying to lose weight. That's not the right way to do it.
No, your body thinks it's starving itself, so it stores every calorie it gets as fat. And that
you
goes
just have no energy.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, there's some old school mentalities out there that talk about like, hey, calorie in, calorie out, and that's not necessarily the truth. There is some truth to that, but it has to be the right calories. There doesn't have to be necessarily timing involved, but it does help, that type of stuff. But it just doesn't always come down to a calories in, calories out type of thing. Right. Especially over the course of a long time. Well, that's cool. Who would you say can benefit from something that like what we do?
I think anybody.
I think you're probably right.
Anybody could benefit, whether you're just trying to get rid of, like I've met women who just want to get rid of baby fat. Or as we mature, we just gain fat in different spots, and fat is a good thing. I'm not going to demonize fat at all, but there's any of us, and then men who want to bulk up, men who just want to be strong and stable. Sure. Anybody, any age.
Yeah, it's not like a hey, I want to lose 20 pounds. It's really, I mean, nutrition is the baseline of where your fitness and health journey starts. Exactly. And so it's like, hey, if you don't have that right, you're building, and say you're just starting nutrition or starting, fitness. Not saying if that's where you need to be, like that's also a good step. But if you don't have that nutrition kind of like on lockdown a little bit, I always talk about it like building a house on a foundation of quicksand. Exactly. It's like you're gonna get somewhere, but it's gonna take you a lot longer. If you just built up that bridge over the quicksand, you get across it a lot faster. Some bad analogies. Awesome. And you've worked with several people now through the gym. Is there any like defining moments that you've seen that was like how powerful, that you realized how powerful nutrition can be with other people besides yourself? Oh gosh, yes. I'm gonna start with just simple hydration. Yeah. Getting people to start drinking water first thing in the morning and hydrating throughout the day I've watched people come in week after week with more energy just with that. And then those who take what we talk about in our meetings together, we're going to talk about different things, but at the end, I'm going to set at least one goal for you, and then I want you to set a goal so you own it. That's awesome. And we check in on those goals every week, and those who really want, because I want this bad for you. Yeah. And those who want it for themselves, they come back with these stories of, I know one person was struggling with
eating, like finishing his own meal and then eating everybody else's. And then we upped his protein, we upped his hydration and his protein, and talked about plate size and just listening to how full you are. And after about 2.5 months, he's like, I just ate my plate. And that, that is a win. That's a huge win.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the worst feeling ever is to like, you've eaten all this food and now your stomach's like bloated.
Yes.
Like, oh my gosh, I'm so heavy right now. And you just don't feel very good. And I can be that way as well. If I come home and like after the all day at work and like haven't eaten much, I just start eating, and then all of a sudden I'm like sitting on the couch like, holy moly, I am so full, and it's not going to be easy to go to sleep tonight because it's going to hurt, and your body's constantly working through all that type of stuff. There's been some nutritionists and dietitians out there that rant and rave about one meal a day, like one massive meal a day, and I'm like, I just don't see it working very well. I think we're creatures of habit and creatures of consistency. We want that. And so being able to be like, hey, I can eat multiple times a day. I like what you said about the hydration. A lot of people will go right to food. Yep. And their body doesn't distinguish if I'm thirsty or I'm hungry. Just your belly starts growling. Yep. And you go, I just drank some water, and guess what? I'm not hungry anymore.
Exactly.
So, but your body is 90% water or 98% water, and you need it to make those cells work. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. What should a client expect when they first sign up for nutrition with you, and what does like the gist of the process look like?
You're going to come in, and once you've signed up with me, I have an idea of what your habits are, and that gives me a good starting point. Some people we need to get up to at least 2 meals a day. Some people we need to work with to eat less or choose different types of snacks. It's not I will never send anybody home telling them to wipe out their kitchen and start over. It's little steps, and we just build on tiny habits.
I agree. Yeah, that's great. What is it? So on top of that, any more processes that go on?
I will provide for you meal plans, just to keep it simple, based on your likes and dislikes. And some of my clients have been really good about, I don't like this at all, and others rave about. And so we work together. It's not me telling you what to do. It's your body. You're smart. Yeah. And sometimes we just need a guide. Sure. And that's what I'm here for, is to guide you. And so I'll create meal plans, menus, shopping lists for you, just to keep it super simple. Some people love to cook at home. Some want a meal prep ahead of time. And so it's unique to everybody because we're all so different.
Sure. I like that. I definitely like that approach. Like in my day, I've done several different diets. I tried to do like a bodybuilding diet one time to get super lean, and not saying the guy didn't do a great job, but he like literally had 4 different kinds of meat on there each day. And I was like, bro, I have to go buy like, 30 pounds of tilapia and like 10 pounds of steak and 5 pounds of chicken and cook up different types of food each day. I'm like, I just thrive on eating the exact same thing every single day, every meal. And I know I'm an outlier on that, right? Like not everybody can eat steak and chicken or steak and chicken and rice and potatoes 3 times a day for the rest of their lives. Right. I like it super simple. I change it up like monthly or every 2 months or something like that. But I know it's fuel, and that's what I'm looking for.
Exactly.
But back to my point, I think that if you were to say, hey, Sunny, I'm going to make you eat tilapia, you hate tilapia, how successful are you going to be on the program?
Oh, not at all.
You're not going to do it.
No, that's why we work together. And I'm going to work with you to build in the protein you need, the carbs, and to make you help you be comfortable with fat, because there's good healthy fats in our bodies,
and we need it.
Yes. Yeah, especially our brains.
Yeah, brains and hormone production and joints and just all the good stuff that we actually need. Yeah. That's awesome. I want to shift gears just a little bit on that. So you've worked with quite a few people in their nutrition now at Strength Warehouse. What's a common mindset shift that you see from them, like day one, your initial intake talking, to like maybe a month down the road or 2 months down the road or however long? Like, do you see any of that?
I've seen a couple different things. People come in, you're working out at the gym, somebody suggested you talk to the nutrition coach, and so you're kind of like, I'll talk to the nutrition coach if I have to.
Fine.
And if we get to chatting and you decide that we can work together. I've seen after even just a month or 2 months, people starting to, with those tiny habits, those, switch this snack, 1 or 2 snacks a day, switch out the carrot or the pretzels for perhaps carrots and nuts or something. Just those little things. Once you get a win, you want more. And so I see that. And then I also see, like we talked about earlier, that you want me to eat more calories, and helping you figure out what whole food really is, because it's so easy just to go and buy packaged food or go through a drive-through. And so helping people learn that they can cook at home and sending you recipes that are quick.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
been a win for a lot of people.
Yeah. You know, Todd, he's the editor of this podcast. He says it all the time. He says, nothing breeds motivation like results.
Yes.
You get a little win, you get a little result, motivation kicks in even higher. But then you have to keep that going. And then all of a sudden it turns from motivation into dedication. Like, hey, I might not have gotten any real wins except for that I've been consistent, which is a huge win. So you have to kind of restructure what wins look like in your mind. It's not always, I dropped a little bit of body fat or whatever, because sometimes you can plateau, and everybody does at some point.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I really like that. What are like some typical roadblocks people face when they're trying to improve their nutrition?
I hear time a lot.
Yeah.
Because you work all day and you're working out, so when are we going to cook? Kids.
Yeah.
Well, I'll eat this, but my kids want that. And
then you make them 2 different
actually,
meals.
Well, sometimes you have to, but I've learned to provide meals for you. Like, the person that I graduated that I talked about going from plates to a plate.
Yeah.
That person has a family, and we started talking about meals, and I provided meals for them that the whole family could get behind.
That's cool.
And so parents are happy, kids are happy.
Cool.
And
that's how would you suggest my 4-year-old eats with us? Because she only eats like nothing right now. Yogurt and cheddar bunnies.
Yeah.
It's tough right now. We try to sneak stuff in like smoothies and this and that, but hey, try this. We'll give you a treat if you try it. That's just when you get to that kind of point when you're in that season of life, you just literally have to like, I'm doing this, you're doing that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be okay for right now. Eventually, you're going to get through this season, and especially because we're going to keep on, prodding you with nutritious food.
Right. But when they're in middle school, they've got choices.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we're seeing our 13-year-old. She's starting to come around to eating some more. She'll like just go in on her own and cut up cucumbers. And I'm like, that's awesome. Good for you. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And she loves them. We buy her like probably 25 cucumbers a week. Dude, she's going through so many cucumbers. It's crazy.
That's nice. Yeah, and because they're watching you.
Yeah.
They're whoever the people that come in and talk to me, it's like their kids are watching them. And so kind of like your cells, you can't rebuild healthy cells with sick cells.
Yeah.
Your kids are watching you, and so generationally they're going to start making better choices, and they'll teach their kids. I've seen that in my own family.
Absolutely. No, that's awesome. And that's kind of why I've done the same thing. It's like I've been, exercising my whole life, not my whole life, but in the last 20 years, my kids watched me do that, and then eating healthy. And it's so funny, my 13-year-old, we're like, hey, what do you want for your birthday lunch? Or birthday dinner or whatever. We're expecting her to be like pizza or whatever, and she's like, I want chicken and rice. I'm like, you want chicken and rice? She's like, actually steak and rice. I'm like, you want steak and rice? Well, you're my daughter, so that makes a lot of sense. Sure enough, we made her steak and rice, and she was just happy as heck. So it's really all about, we crave good, nutritious food, but we can trick our minds being like, oh, that pizza looks so good, and it tastes so good right away, but then you don't get any of the nutritious stuff, right? Not to say I don't go out to eat pizza, because I absolutely do. But I just you feel better when you eat good food.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have any big misconceptions about what you do or nutrition in whole that you just like to put out there in the air and kind of clean up a little bit and take the trash out?
I would throw that 4-letter word diet out in the trash. It's like when you mention the word diet, so many of us go to exactly what we talked about in the beginning, restriction. But it's simply a game plan. It's a roadmap. And so when you're talking with me, I ask you a lot of questions.
Sure.
And because I want to know what your likes and dislikes are, and I want to be able to work with you.
Cool.
And so what we create, I could use the word meal plan instead of a diet.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if I start working with you, does that mean I can't have any more sugar or sweets?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you can have. Yeah. Live your life, for sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, your nutrition coach likes a good coconut milk ice cream once in a while.
Yeah.
And it is just once in a while, but I'm not going to deny myself, so I'm not going to deny you.
Yeah, exactly. No, I like that.
Yeah.
It's not about being 100% all the time. It's
Exactly.
about being consistent as best you can. And again, just building the roadmap. It's the same thing we do with the fitness things. Like, hey, my recommendation for you is to come in 3 times a week, do this, and this. If you don't make it in for half a week or a week because you're out of town or whatever, does that mean you're failing? No. That means life got in the way. But guess what? The next step. Something I talk about a lot is winning the next decision. So if you woke up in the morning and say you're on vacation or whatever, or I went out with my buddy this last Monday, and no, it was actually Tuesday, and he wanted to take me out to breakfast because I helped him with some automotive stuff or whatever. And we went to a place and they had these delicious looking scones, and I was like, I never eat scones in the morning, but I did, and I was like, I kind of felt a little guilty because I was like, I probably messed up the rest of my day, right? It did not. That's not the case, but just being able to be like, hey, it's okay. You've made the plan. The next decision, I could have gotten another. I could have been like, hey, can I take 3 scones home with me?
Right.
No, the next decision was, hey, I'm not going to eat another scone for the day. Maybe tomorrow or next week I might have another one. Who cares?
Yeah.
But winning the next decision, I like that.
I think another misconception too that I just thought of was money.
Yeah.
We learn together how to shop on a budget, and you can get whole healthy food that fills your body without breaking the bank.
100%.
And something that I've heard you say often, Nate, too, is what cost?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to spend a little bit more now if you need to for your health, or spend a lot more later for your health?
Yes.
Which you've lost. And so.
Yeah, it's going to be much more money to go have somebody else take care of you than to have something to take care of yourself. And it's ridiculous how cheap good food is. I mean, of course, if you're going to go buy really high class, like gourmet, meals or dinners or something like that, yeah, it's going to cost you some money. But I mean, dude, vegetables are cheap. They're so cheap. I could buy, I bought 25 pounds of jasmine rice for like $30 at Costco, and it lasted me for like 6 months, right?
Yep.
And I eat like a cup of rice a couple times a day. And then, steak and chicken, they can fluctuate, whatever. But it's honestly not, it's actually more expensive to buy the packaged foods. And
in the long run.
It's in the long run also, when you're not healthy, you're not gonna be able to perform as as good, so you're gonna make less money. You're gonna have to go see the doctor much more often, and even if you have insurance, all that type of stuff, it's still it all adds up. And then just not feeling great. How much money is that worth?
Yeah. No.
If I could be like, I could make $100,000 a year and I'll feel amazing for my whole entire life, or I could make $1 million a year and feel absolutely crummy. Which one are you going to take?
No,
$100,000. I mean, that's a lot of money, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it to go make more money. And I find this a lot with my business professionals. They're sedentary, they're not eating, or they're always doing some kind of like lunch out or drinks in the middle of the day. And it's all for money. It's all for work. And I'm like, what's going to happen when you don't work anymore? Like, they're not going to be here for you. Your health's not going to be here for you. And the money's not going to be any good.
Right. What does it matter if you can't do anything? Yeah.
You can't take it with you, and you can't be happy physically with it.
Right.
So,
right.
Well, I wanted to shift gears again, unless you had more misconceptions or anything else you want to say on, your services that you provide here at Strength Warehouse or anything like that before we shift gears.
Well, I don't need to add much more other than I always offer to my clients or anybody who comes into the gym, when you see me, if you have a question, ask me.
Yeah.
And then set a timer, because I'll talk to you for hours if you let me. So, I'd love
like,
to
Sunny, I just asked if I need more protein. It's been 3 hours. I've got to go back to work.
Exactly. Yeah, but I'm here.
That's cool. Well, good. Yeah. I really appreciate that. They can also hit you up through the our Facebook members page as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
And if you're not a member, be a member.
Be a member.
Be a member.
You can also hit us up on info@benstrengthwarehouse.com, and if it's the subject is for Sunny, I'll just forward it over to her as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So you've helped quite a few people now at the gym. Is there any, other than what you were just talking about, is there any super big things that stand out, like somebody's transformation, or other than the last one we talked about with the plate sizes or anything like that?
I think consistency with one person in particular is coming into mind, and how he and how this person does the best that he can to follow the plans that I lay out for him.
Yeah.
And it's really fun because sometimes we work out at the same time, and it's really fun to watch him. I could tear. Because it's cool to get like a personal best.
Yeah.
And then when we're sitting down and talking, it's like, I ate really well today. I ate what you told me.
Yeah.
Or what you suggested.
And it fueled my workout, and I hit a PR.
Yeah, and that's something that I would love for anybody who goes through our nutrition program to just knock the socks off of their coaches in their classes, because you're so strong and you're so comfortable and your body's so well fueled that
so cool.
You're going to have personal wins.
Dude, that's your slogan right there.
Yeah.
Eat so good that you knock the socks off your coaches.
There we go. That's
I love it. I love it. Right on. All right, so now we're going to actually shift segues here, just change gears. I want to talk about our meal prep workshop that we have going on. I'm super excited about it. Can you just give us a little gist of what that's going to look like, and give us we haven't set a specific day, but we have some general guidelines.
Yeah. We're looking within the next month or so of holding this, and those of you that come, you're going to get a meal plan. We'll be prepping 10 meals together.
Cool.
And the cool thing about it, especially those who don't have the time, I'm going to do all the shopping for you.
Yeah.
Or we're going to do all the shopping for you. So you're going to show up, and we're going to teach you how to prep these meals. You're going to go home with 10 freezer meals and the recipes to put them together so you can recreate them yourselves again later, or you'll be able to mix and match.
Cool.
And we're looking at about a couple of hours to do all that, and it'll be a fun team event.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what we should expect is they're going to buy in.
Yep.
And then you and I are going to go, we already have all the meals stuff, like what we're going to do.
Yes.
And we're going to go shopping together.
Yep.
And take some videos, laugh a little bit, whatever. And then, so all the food's going to be provided for them.
Yes.
The only thing they need to bring is themselves and a cooler.
And a cooler, yes.
Cooler.
Yes.
Got to bring a cooler so they can take it home.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to show them how to cut everything up. They're going to do it with us, and very interactive workshop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've wanted to do this for a while, and just haven't had anybody that's been like passionate enough to like make it happen. Obviously, I haven't either.
Yeah.
it seems like a lot of work, but I'm very thankful that you're willing to take this on for us, and hopefully I'm going to be there. I know that for sure, because I love meal prepping. Not that I love it, I make it fun, right? So my Sunday routine is we go, we get our groceries, we come home, and then I usually turn on the barbecue. If it's football season, I'll turn on a football game somewhere, whether it's on my phone or if I have access to my TV that my 4-year-old doesn't have, if she's not out there watching some kind of Barbie thing. I'll turn on football, and then, or I'll just turn on a podcast and just start doing stuff, getting stuff ready. And it usually takes, a couple hours, 2.5 hours to get it completely done. Then I just have fun and bring kiddos and get kiddos involved in it if they are interested in seeing what it's like, and it's just a family thing. And now I've been doing it so long, it's literally just what I do. It's not like I have to do this. It's just what you do on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and then the rest of the week, you don't have to think about it.
Oh yeah. Then I bring my food to me with me, and there's some. I've got some advantages that some people don't. Like I've got a refrigerator here and stuff. But you make it work, right?
Yeah.
When I was working at the automotive shop, I bring a cooler, because they didn't have a refrigerator in there. Because actually, I didn't realize this, but it's against OSHA standards to have a refrigerator inside of an automotive shop.
Did not know
Did
that.
not know that either. We had one. OSHA came in and said, "Yeah, this has got to go." Who knows why? But anyway, so after that day, I just bought myself a little cooler and just had my meals with me, and hopefully there's a microwave. If not, you got to make some types of some other things. I worked at a place that didn't have a microwave. So I bought these little thermistors or whatever, thermistors, and put my food in that, and they were warm. And I just had 3-1. I opened it up and just ate it right out of the thermostor. You got to make, you just got to make a little bit of investment, a little bit of creative. Don't just like at the first sign of, oh, this isn't going to work. Like there's ways around it. There's going to be ways around it.
Always.
Well, that's cool. I'm super excited about this. Do you have any? Do you know what any of the meals that we have on board?
Oh, I was just reviewing them this morning. I should know right off the top of my head, but we're going to make a teriyaki chicken.
Okay.
We'll have a curry chicken. We're going to have a Mexican type mix.
Cool.
And then I just went blank, but I'm
That's
going to blame
okay,
the
no
workout.
worries.
But
So is
it's
some
gonna
kind
be
of
the
protein?
there'll be protein, vegetable,
Okay.
fat in every meal, and there'll be herbs and spices. So you're
Yeah.
not eating bland food.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can cook, you can make healthy food taste good.
Oh,
guaranteed.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, great, awesome. Well, I think that's pretty much all we have for the podcast today. Do you have any other like signing off words or any words of wisdom for somebody that has been thinking about it, maybe that just hasn't really pulled the trigger, or maybe somebody sat with you and they had some kind of roadblock and just give them a little shove?
Yeah, no, I'd shove you. No,
I'd shove you, absolutely.
But yeah, if you've been thinking about it, just come and chat.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing.
Yeah.
We're just talking, and I'm going to ask you similar questions to what Nate asked you in the Healthy Sweat intro.
Yeah.
I've been through that, and we want to get to know you.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times when I do the No Sweat intro, I write down what I've gotten, and then I give it to Sunny, and then she takes that, the littlest amount that I've gotten from you, and then runs with that, and we just start building the program from there.
Yeah, it's just a conversation, and then we work together. I think that's the biggest thing. Is I'm not going to tell you what to do unless you're eating boxed mac and cheese every day. Then I'm going to strongly suggest you stop that. But other than that, it's a team.
Yeah.
I said you're the one that lives with you.
Aggressively. Ask you to not do that.
Yes, there you go.
I went to go see my therapist the other day, and he got it all. He's usually like just Mr. like calm, collected guy. Mm-hmm. We started talking about some stuff, and I could tell he's getting really passionate about it. And at the end, he's like, "Man, I was just aggressively telling you what to do." And I laughed so hard. I was like, "Dude, I was a little aggressive." So aggressively telling you, "Hey, do not eat that macaroni and cheese anymore."
Yeah.
Once in a while is great. Other than that,
Yeah.
Get something else.
Yeah.
Get something else.
I'm super passionate, and I tell my husband I'm going to be bugging him till I'm 103. So
is he on the nutrition kick?
He's getting there.
Okay.
He's getting there.
That's one thing I want to talk about real quick before we get off
Yeah.
here. Spouses and or just relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I've had so many people come in here and be like, well, there's no way my wife's going to get on board with this, and she cooks the meals. I'm like, so you're telling me that you're allowing your health to be in the hands of somebody else?
Yes.
Like, come on, guys. We're adults here. Like, if you don't like what she's making, you don't have to be mean and be like, hey, I don't want that, and throw the plate against the wall.
Right.
So you can say, hey, I'm actually trying to, proactively do this. I'd like some support. Mm-hmm. And so my wife and I, when I first met her, she was on the nutrition stuff. She was in the gym and stuff like that. But we had such different things, and I was like, I'm not asking. You're not my mom. I'm not asking you to cook all my meals.
Right.
I will cook all my meals. You cook yours, and then we can come together and like make a breakfast or a lunch or a dinner. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be all the time. But don't let your spouse or somebody in your life like hold you back from doing what you need to.
Exactly.
You got to take it into your own hands. You're the only one that can put food in your mouth and cook for yourself, and hopefully that your spouse gets on board eventually. They will eventually see that they need to do that. But again, it's just a conversation. You don't need to push them all the time and create havoc and problems in your home life.
Yeah.
But just saying, hey, I need some support. I'm really trying to work on this. And I don't need you to change everything, but I may not eat what you make.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah, and they can come on board. I mean, I made 2 meals quite a bit. It's not like, again, I'm not my husband's mom.
Yeah.
He does his own breakfast and lunch, but for dinner, I would often cook for both of us, and I do 2 meals, and slowly I started integrating, and now he eats what I cook.
Cool.
And when he grocery shops, he's learned to look at labels.
Good. That's great.
Just because he knows that this isn't healthy for either of us.
Yeah.
And so he's reading labels, and just because that's what he's picked up over the years.
And I think that's again the first step to anything is just awareness.
Yes.
Right. If you're like, hey, what's that? Then I'm going to Google that real quick, and then you're like, whoa, I don't like the sounds of that. Mm-hmm. And again, I think a big just going by like just basics. The more things that you have in the what's in it,
in the ingredients,
is probably a sign.
Yeah, stay away.
Stay away.
Yeah.
And those, of course, is good. But like this one's got a lot. This Fit Aid that I'm drinking has a lot of good stuff in it, but there is some things I'm like, I don't really know if I would like that all the time.
Don't Google it.
Yeah, don't Google it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, right on, Sunny.
Awesome.
Always have a pleasure having you on the podcast. I know nutrition is a big thing. People like want to hear about it all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. And is there some way that people can reach out to you other than just through what's your email here?
It's Sunny at benstrengthwarehouse.com.
Yeah. Okay. So if you guys want to
reach out
email
that
her
way.
directly, you guys can reach out to her as well. But yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
When you text, I see the text come through. So if you say, "Hey, Sunny," I'll see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually got another one for you today. I signed up another person for gold.
Awesome.
Gold on ramp, and you'll be working with him, and
Yeah.
he's gonna have it's gonna be a challenging one for you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey,
Yeah.
thanks a lot. Hey guys, thanks a lot for joining the podcast once again. Season 3, episode 101. Exciting year. So anyway, we'll see you guys on the next podcast, all right? Thanks for joining us on the Go Heavy or Go Home podcast today. We hope you got a lot of value and had a ton of fun. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about what we do, or just have a ton of resources at your fingertips, head over to benstrengthwarehouse.com and hit the Start My Journey button. All right, guys, until next time, go heavy or go home.